Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott Wave update for ICP. I'm out on the 4-hour chart. I wanted to show you my primary count, and that is that we have a 5-wave move to the upside, came to targets as expected, the 1.618 for our third, the 2.382 for our fifth, in which case we made a 3-wave move to the downside, which is one of the most complicating structures to follow when we start with a 3-wave move. There's a lot that can happen in this area, so it's very difficult to trade within. I always suggest to new traders to not trade within this area, either trade above it or below, but it can change so quickly with a 3-wave move. We can get complicated corrections, we can get running flats, we can get expanded flats, we can get triangles. So there's a lot that can happen when we start out a correction with 3 waves. Now, a way to navigate things easier is I always put on a time extension fib, which is our 5-wave moves to the upside. We're looking for a 3-wave move to correct that entire wave to the upside. Now the 618 extension and the 1-to-1 is where it should fall between. Just guidelines, not rules, but that would be the 24th of February to nearly the end of March would be the guideline of where we get this A, B, C to finish. And then we'd be looking for higher highs after as either a wave 3, and this is a 1, 2, or a C wave, and this is an A, B in the larger trend. All right, so we're going to zoom into this area. Very complicating area, but I am still long in it, and I'm targeting the higher high B wave as a running flat. I believe this market is pretty bullish, and usually when we get very bullish markets, we get running flats, which is a higher high for our B wave, and we defend our A wave low for our C wave. So this area, I spent the last little bit trying to get a grasp on it, and it's almost impossible. just to tell you, to come up with something that you can get high probability behind, it's very, very difficult. My alternative, if we come straight down from here and fail, is that we just get a regular flat because we have hit the 70% retracement of this move to the downside already, in which case we'd target just the 1-to-1 of this A wave off this B, and that would be a regular flat, and we come down to 869.1 would be our 1-to-1 extension of that A equals C. So yeah, it would take us right into our time zone we expect, and we'd want to defend this previous 4th wave area before pivoting to the upside. Now, my primary is we make that B, but that's if we fail here. That's what I would be looking for. Now, if we keep moving to the upside, I left the labeling as is. I just wanted to show you the possibilities, and they all count, which makes it very difficult to have a primary here. But my bias is we move up. I'll just say that. So first of all, this could be a 3-wave move. I showed you that. We reached the minimum requirement, so this could actually be an ABC in itself, which would make a W wave. This can also be a 3-wave move as such. I pulled the pivots, reason being we hit the 0.618 extension, which is my minimum requirement. You can see there at 1292. So that can be a correction in itself, which means we'd be looking for a 3-wave move to the upside to create our Y, if this is a WX. So what would that look like? Most likely it would be a flat. We got a zigzag here, and this would be a flat, a 3, 3, 5. So we got 3 waves up. If this pivot is in, we'd expect 5 waves to the upside, like such, and that would create a WXY. Now, invalidation area of that would be this pivot here. I have moved my stop to that level. It is in profit. I will not lose money on this trade. If you remember, I got in back around this area. Wouldn't win much, but I wouldn't lose. So I'm just letting this run from that area. Which according to Binance is 1268.4. Once this does fill out, be clear, we will get the proper count, but there's just so much that can be happening here. Because the other alternative is, this is our A wave, right? This is our B wave as a WXY, and this is making some sort of diagonal. Should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ugly diagonal, that's why I don't have it labeled that way. I'm going to switch my labeling to the WXY just for tracking purposes. It makes the most sense to me, and the length of time between these two corrections just looks correct. I would expect this Y wave to take about the same amount of time as the W wave, which would be up around Wednesday the 28th-ish for this B wave. So we'll switch that labeling. W, X potentially in, looking for our Y wave. Again, looking for a 3, 3, 5 here. We have 3 in, 3 down, looking for 5 waves to the upside. Now targets for that, I pulled the pivots. They're actually pretty nice. If we take from this W wave off the X, the 1-to-1 is about 1820.5 on log scale and 1682 on linear. And I would like to even see a little higher extensions there to come up between the 1.236 and 382 extension of this A wave. That's the ideal area for this B wave if we make a flat. And then I would look for a short targeting the 1-to-1 extension of this A off this B once it is complete. And that would be our big entry long over in this area if we get that move. So that's my plan. As of right now, stop is at that pivot. If we fail, I would anticipate that this B wave is in and targeting that 1-to-1 extension down at 869.1. which is the 1-to-1 of this if the B wave is complete. Again, it would be something very complex, and that would be my area I'd be interested in looking for the long from down this area. All right, guys, I wish I could lean into it a little better, but as of right now, if we get that move to the upside, I am bullish again, but I can't lean into any specific count. The best count I have is this is a 3, 3, looking for 5 waves up as a flat, up around 1820 on log scale. I will pull these pivots once we get moving here. Look for the 1.618 extension of this A off the B for the C, but I just want to let this B wave fill out a little bit because it might turn into something more complex. All right, guys, that's it for ICP. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.